I know I'm an asshole. What? You're all fuckered up. You're all tore up right now, and your nice mental chi for the morning. And I made you hungry, and I had to pick up my dog, and he had a piece of shit cake to his stomach. So guess what? We're even. Because
Oh
you,
man,
'cause you loved Buster that much, and I just
I
went,
know.
and I just went like, yeah, buddy, what? You're staying in the grass for a few minutes. Why?
Yep.
He just laid there, just kicking his leg in a circle, not knowing what the fuck's going on. Dear God, how do people like me and Buster live? I'll never understand. Like, if anyone should have died, I'm pretty sure we were on that list because it doesn't make sense. But lots of racing to cover from across the thing. I'm trying to figure out why my TV suddenly looks different. But I just going to jump right into something that I think we can agree on. I prefer the Indy road course over to the oval for the way it raced for the last couple of years there.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
definitely agree on
people
that one.
a lot of people angry. I don't understand why. I think it's personally way better racing wise than it has been in a very long time. I just didn't like it. No offense to the oval. I mean, I get the prestige, but everyone bitching about it, saying that they need to go back on the oval, apparently never actually watched any of the races on the oval the last couple of years because it was just follow
Yeah,
the leader.
it was shenanigans, is what it's been. That's just my personal opinion.
I mean, you watch even the Indy 500. What? Scott Dixon followed by Scott Dixon, followed by Scott Dixon, until a pit thing, and then everyone just followed Ericsson around. Even the
Yeah,
Indy cars, it's lost its luster to me. And next year, don't worry, I will still be all talking up Memorial Day weekend and the Indy 500, F1 in Monaco if they go back, because that's still up in the air. And the Coke 600, regardless for its prestigiousness and its historical value, but that doesn't mean the racing there is actually good in the process.
I think there's probably, I feel safe in saying there's probably one or two handfuls of tracks anymore where they've changed the cars to the degree of you literally get in a single file line after lap three, and that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. So I'm okay with them
Yeah.
getting there.
Not
Colton,
that I don't like those tracks. I want to make sure I'm clear on that. It's
I,
just the way the cars have
yeah,
changed on those tracks.
yeah. The racing, yeah. But the track didn't change. Sure, it got a little older. The aerodynamics around the track didn't change. The aerodynamics around the cars,
Way different.
they have changed and made them ridiculous. Colton Herta, don't know if you watched the IndyCar race, but he cost himself another one because he was just overly aggressively hitting those curbs. And if he
Hmm.
tries to deny it on the radio, like he did, there was a very solid, he went over the curb and his transmission was like,
You weren't the only one having problems with
he
curbs
went,
and barriers and walls this weekend
he went
or last weekend.
like you heard him just, and everything stopped simultaneously. What you were eating the curbs, kid. Like you did not need to stick your whole car on top of it. That sucked. I like the action in F1 from Hungary.
Good
F1,
race.
F2, F3, W Series, whatever. Yeah, Jamie Chadwick finally lost in the W Series. Didn't think that was going to happen this year. So good to see that. That was a good race. All of them were good races. It's just we only got to see the W Series and F1. You actually have to go searching to find, which is why I hate it when they tell them that they're there, and then they show like practice.
Don't mind me. I just
Yeah,
forgot something.
and they show us practice and qualifying, but they don't like then show us the race. I think that's actually worse for you as a sports channel when you show us qualifying, but then you don't actually let us see the race at
Yeah.
all. I'd rather not see qualifying and then see the race than see qualifying and not be capable of seeing the race.
Well, like I've said before, I mean, there's no reason why half these. Okay, let me back up. If you're at a track recording qualifying, you have more than enough capabilities to record those races. With that being said, if say like there's usually three or four races that end up overlapping each other on Saturdays.
I get that. There's nothing you can do about
Okay, but that's fine.
that. Yeah.
You got Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2. And then around the country, you have like local region sports channels. And those are, I think they're called Bally Sports now, not Fox Sports Detroit and stuff like that
Oh,
anymore.
whatever the hell they are. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So there's those three channels. They used to have Speed Vision. That got bought out. Now it's garbage.
Now it's
It don't even
FS1.
exist no more.
Now it's
yeah,
FS1,
exactly.
and guess what? They made an FS2, but
Well, where I was going with that is it's notorious. Like on this TV right here, I could probably turn it to FS2 right now, and it's going to say no scheduled programming.
oh, mine's always playing something stupid. Like I'm going,
Well, I'm just
why?
saying, like I get that message a lot.
Most of them, there's some ESPN channels that say that CBS Sports Network. Excuse me, never seen it on NBC. I will give NBC.
I mean, okay, so let me back up.
I will give NBCSN that much credit, at least whenever I go on there. I mean, they have program. It's not like nothing.
Sorry, America. I'm gonna have to apologize in advance. I don't know how to get that off my security system. I'm working on it.
Well, you're the one that's paranoid and lives in a shithole.
I live in an armpit of America, man.
No,
I gotta live in the butthole, not the armpit.
There you go. Don't you dare take New Jersey's claim away from it. It's the armpit of America. Here we go. Let's see if now, everyone, we're going to see how strong my stomach really is.
Anyways, where are we going with that? Damn it. Oh, I like the Le Tour de France, something like that. Something that has a stature that's pretty high. I get broadcast in some other countries here, but if I look at series that are primarily here and I can't see those series before most foreign series, it bothers me. Not that I'm saying I don't like the foreign series in any way, shape, or form, because you can vouch, I like all forms of racing.
Yeah, I watch them all that are on. I don't like.
But my problem is when it comes to programming, and I'm putting this on the networks and I'm putting it on broadcast providers. You have people like, I have DirecTV. You have Dish, right?
Hulu.
Oh, you have Hulu.
Yeah. It rains too much for me to have a Dish down here.
And then here in the house, I have Xfinity, which is Comcast.
To quote Kid Rock, when it rains, it pours.
Exactly.
Nowhere near the same content of that song, but
I can go across those different servers and never fails. I could know for a fact at roughly 9:30 on most Saturday mornings throughout the first 5 months of the year, there's Supercross racing happening live, starting with all the practices and qualifying and everything. That shit starts in the morning. You can't tell me there ain't a slot during the first half of the day. You could broadcast the races live.
Hey,
I'm sorry. There's no excuse. When I can go across Comcast, you can go on Hulu. I can go across DirecTV on my other stuff, and none of it shows. I'm like, this is my point right here. Now, if I wait till 8 o'clock that night or 9 o'clock that night, whatever time it is that comes on CBS, I can watch it there, or I can wait till the next morning and watch it on CBS Sport. Right. Oh yeah, that's right. It's your answer. Sorry.
Don't give CBS that much credit.
Yep. No. Sorry. I'm back up. I correct myself. I forgot they switched channels. Yep. My whole point of it is they'll show the race the night of it, and then they'll re-show it again the next morning. But my thing of it is the morning before that, you could have been showing this shit.
Oh, well, I just find it, before we move on completely, I just find it amazing that normally I'm barking because I can't find the ARCA race because they don't air it. And now it is no shit in the last, not even week, because the race was last Saturday, hit my DVR 7 different times that I had deleted. Like, it's amazing. Like, if you could show the replay that many times, you could show it every week, because that proves you actually have more than enough time to air it. You do repeat. You can show it while it's live. Just again, like, don't show me F2 and F3.
Well, that's just like the World of Outlaws. I mean, what?
I get that one though. They signed a contract with the devil.
I know, but they bring money in. Like, it's not like okay, here. This is a list I wrote up of all the series we cover right here. Front, and then there's the back side of it. Front there, back there, okay? I can tell you right now, at no way, shape, or form are you going to see a live British Touring Car Championship, which I can tell you right now, we have nothing on TV usually when that's happening that's of value. I'm putting that out there. Next, coming down to USAC. I understand USAC and World Outlaws right now are in cahoots with Dirt Vision, Flow Racing, and those guys, but that's because there is no broadcasting available for them on the big guys like Comcast, DirecTV, Dish, all them big people. They ain't going out of their way to show them people.
But he has TV and Comcast cable. You're welcome, Marshall. Back in your rhymes didn't make me want to put like through a wall.
Right.
Shout out to Eminem when he still had, I don't know, a brain.
An intestinal. Never mind. We won't go there.
But you can't teach him a thing. He said it himself.
Yeah. It just bothers me because like that Lucas Oil series, I was telling you, the late model series, not the off-road championship, but like the late model series and all that. Well,
hey,
there's no excuse. There's races that happen during the week in these series that could be broadcasting.
I'm still seeing like college softball games. And
that's literally where I'm
series,
going with it.
And their World Series was months ago.
A college softball game
from 3 months ago
is going to bring in more money for a broadcasting
NCAA
company.
NCAA.
I don't give a shit. I have a hard time believing they could pay more than what the racing series could.
Yeah, but see, I'm okay with softball having the bigger ones. The big problem with a lot of the racing, though, I will say, to do it live just because they start in the primetime hour, 9 o'clock. Most of them start. So I get it because they do have their big, their sitcoms, they have all of that stuff starting then. So I do understand why they don't have it live.
That's on the main channels.
Yeah, not having it at all. I have a problem with that. But their start time is so late. I get it. Well, put it on like the next morning. Put it on the next day. Like breakfast time, lunchtime. On a weekend when everyone's sitting there going, yeah, because there's nothing else on, and you'll be okay. Instead of just listening to people talk about sports for hours, you could actually show people sports.
Exactly, because so like for me, I look at it like this. I can tell you right now, rather than sitting here and turning my TV to try to go to a sports channel right now, I almost bet there's some form of a soccer game.
Bundesliga is definitely on right now. Always, without a shadow of a doubt. Bundesliga Soccer League. Just like the British, just like the Premier League. Like, no offense.
That's what I'm saying. Like, those, I can guarantee one of them is on right now if I turned it to it.
Yeah. Oh, it's on. Don't worry. Guaranteed.
But it pisses me off because here you're sitting there. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with soccer leagues. I'm not saying that for all the yoo-hoos that are out there. I'm sure is going to complain and say we said that. Anyways, moving on.
Soccer.
Well, I have my own reservations, but that's just that. For me personally. But if you look at these series, though, FS1 and FS2 are Fox, okay? They have the first half of like the NASCAR season. You're telling me clearly the other stuff that they would normally cover isn't functioning or operating at that moment of the year. So why don't you go to these other groups? Like they could cover the first half of the year for the World of Outlaws. They could cover the first half of the year
especially at the beginning of the year because there aren't too many of them going on at that point.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Especially between October.
Yeah.
If you go from the beginning of October till the end of March and broadcast those months, you would literally broadcast the months that guys in the Midwest and the North have no ability to go racing because we're screwed weather-wise. You got freezing, thawing. Well, I don't care if you're on asphalt, concrete, or dirt. It's hard to race.
Doesn't like freezing and or thawing or frozen.
I'm just putting it out there. So that's what I'm saying. Like their target market should be one thing in the NASCAR and not even in NASCAR. Their target market as far as companies go should be racing in general because they could make a ton of money. Yeah. And they're not making money from football, any of them.
Oh,
or any of those.
Still are. They're still idiots.
Well, I'm saying from the first of the year though, them guys ain't making money other than the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Then you got I think there's some training that usually happens in March or April for baseball teams.
March.
Okay. And they don't televise that, do they?
I'm sure they do. I've never gone out of my way to find a spring training baseball.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't think they do. I don't remember them ever doing it.
I've never seen it.
So with that being said, it's like, what is it that they're covering so intently in that time of the year that we don't know about? And if it's wrestling, if it's college wrestling, like I get it, but that should be a Saturday at noon thing.
Yeah. No one cares about that. No offense to college wrestlers. No one
I'm just saying,
cares.
like, that should be the only day it should happen. It should be a Saturday at noon. Like, that is, if you are wrestled in school, that's your, like, okay, Saturdays are invitationals. That's how that happens.
Huh.
But they don't do it. Like, anyways, moving on. I
Hey,
could talk about that for a whole another
I
hour,
know.
but
I know. 15 minutes in, we haven't even got off the bed. I think that it's just if you could show it, like you could do it all instead of me watching 9 years, instead of being 9 years of infomercials every morning. Like you could fill that time with actual stuff,
most definitely.
and
And that's
people
that's
will
where I
watch
was
it.
going with it.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
people will watch it. Stoffel looked good in Formula E. Good on him for his points lead. Had a good, yeah. He's the first person I saw this year actually move from starting like 13th, 18th, whatever the hell it was, and he actually passed people to get a fifth. That was, a top five. That was a good change of pace to see that. And I like the indoor outdoor of the track. I did like that. How they're out on the dockyards, but they're also inside that warehouse doing that. You can call it whatever you want. That's a big ass warehouse on the docks. He's
Yes.
looking around like someone's breaking in. IRP wasn't bad. I liked the racing. Good to see the trucks back there. Matty D did good. Crafton did good. Stuff you needed to see happened. Harrison Burton, congratulations.
Yep.
Good on
Yep.
you.
I'll give him that.
He did one thing right this whole year. Todd
I,
Gilliland,
I'll say that's
even
the
more
first
impressive
race
run.
with Harrison Burton. I'll say that's the first race. I didn't necessarily root for him, but I felt like he actually deserved what he got this time, to a degree.
Yeah, he didn't wreck his way to that one, even though no one could drive in a straight line for more than 3 feet. That was just a weird day. I called Bubba though, so you're welcome, America. I said he would do good. Guess what? He did good. You're welcome. I'm right every once in a while. Todd Gilliland, he deserves more of a shout out because no offense to Front Row Motorsports, Penske equipment and Gibbs equipment pretty much are way better than front. I mean, they're all equal, as they say in the new car, yeah. But
Yeah.
Penske and Gibbs are definitely farther ahead in this curve than Front Row. So, congratulations on Todd for getting that. Ross, I don't understand what the hell he was thinking, but I don't put that on Ross. Briscoe went through the grass. Briscoe went through the grass last year. Took him forever to figure it out.
I'm gonna be honest. Ross, I feel like this offseason.
Oh, he's getting the shit beat out of him.
Well, not necessarily that. I think
Mr. Marks is going to take him outside and beat the shit out of him.
I don't know if it's going to be from the organization of Trackhouse Racing or if it's going to come from NASCAR as an organization. But I feel like somebody's going to step up this offseason and be like, look,
bro,
a serious conversation needs to be had. And if we can't rectify this after the 12 races that you've decided to just eliminate people from even having an option of contending to finish the race, let alone win the race, you can't race. Like there's somebody's going to end up saying this. I feel like,
and NASCAR, like, they need to get it together because last year again, Chase Briscoe went through you didn't take the access road and come out and go from 6th to 2nd. He just straight went through the grass, and they threw the penalty after. Like, if there's someone spinning, let's say, I don't know, let's say we're at the Texas Motor Speedway. Just follow along, people. I'm a storyteller. Let's say at the Texas Motor Speedway, and the lights are on, and it's a big weekend for non-points weekend or any kind of weekend for the Cup Series, and someone spins out 12 feet in front of the finish line. If you could throw a caution immediately right there and shaft Blaney like you almost did, I'm pretty throw cautions like that, regardless of if anyone they carry on and keep going and nothing happens. Like no harm, no foul. If you could throw that many cautions, I'm pretty sure when Ross goes cutting right, just doesn't even attempt. Just in his interview after the race.
I mean, even
in his interview after the race, I knew I wasn't going to make it, so you decided to go down.
That said that
he should have to stop. He should just.
Who was it? Right after the race, like literally right at the end of that.
Hell, right as it was happening.
Yeah, who said that? It was one of the broadcasters. Like, where's the flag? Like where what? Well,
we're still waiting on word from NASCAR. Like, if you could throw a caution that quick, the guy took the access road. You can call down immediately from the
Yeah, it's
power
not like they couldn't
and be
see
like,
it.
hey, what? Pull over.
Yeah, you're done. Just sit right
Now.
there.
Stop. You're welcome. Which you
Well, I'll tell
should
you right
be.
now, if that would have happened in a GT race, it would have been the end for him.
Like, I also, like, a big one for me that I did. I mean, they do it at the Roval, like stop and go if you miss the thing. But I mean, like, they literally stopped the first ever Roval when whoever it was when Blaney got the win because Jimmy sent it into that last thing. They both spun out going into through that last chicane on the front stretch. They both spun out, which is why they missed it. NASCAR still made them get out of the chicane, stop before they could go.
Yep.
Like, that's how they lost the right. What they wrecked and missed it, and they had to stop, and no one said a word to him for 2 laps. Sorry, there's a problem there.
Makes you question.
That
And
was.
I know this is a completely different topic, but remember what I was reading you earlier about other stuff? This is the same situation. What happens when you lose faith in the institution?
Yeah.
Who's the one that's going to say something? Because it's clearly not going to be NASCAR. I mean, even the broadcasters there in the race sitting there going,
Someone
kind
gonna
of like,
stop
hey,
him?
NASCAR, black trailer, holler, where you at? What's going on here?
Junior's probably on his phone going like, really?
You've screwed me for way less.
Like, I just didn't understand. I don't understand how. And they even said what last year Briscoe went through the grass. Took him until after the race to say anything. What? It's 2.5 miles or so around that thing. Shit, what? A million turns.
Yeah, and he went 2 laps.
You have.
And then
Yeah,
they
and
say
they didn't do
nothing.
anything until after the race was done. Like, he could have went up there racing again, like Reddick
If
said.
I was any owner of any other team in the
Yeah.
field,
like
I would have went to the black NASCAR hauler and lost my shit.
like Reddick was like, oh, I didn't know if I was racing him or like I didn't know what like and what happened if he wrecked Tyler. Really, just like last year when Chase took out when Briscoe took out Denny, I believe, whoever it was. What
Yeah.
took him out? What man, he was supposed to be gone, black flag, sit on the side of the road, see you later. Like, I don't know why they make dumb calls like penalties. Like, they could throw a caution at a minute's notice, even if it's like coming to the white.
Minute, that was a half a second.
Or they stop races when they're wrecking on the back straightaway at Talladega and don't let them race back. It's like there's about over a mile between that finish line and where what you let them go full speed and you let them go full speed in qualifying. Guess what they do? They shut it off and they coast. And they're allowed to use their brakes now. Why? Because the race is done. They can get back around without you having to stop the race because they're wrecking off of
my
4.
thing. I remember races distinctively where they've wrecked literally as the white flag comes out, they're wrecking 100 feet from the finish line. And you know what? They raced to the end and they had to choose high or low.
I get it.
I mean,
again, safety wise, I do get some of them. I mean, like if they're wrecking on the front straightaway as they come to the white flag, as they get the white flag, like at a place
but if the wreck's almost at the entrance of turn 1, though, they're already past that. Let them race back. They get the fucking checker flag and let them go around.
I get like if they catch it and someone like in the field's way behind them, and we're at a place like Texas, Michigan, one of those places with Texas, because I mean Michigan, we make sense why they're going mock Jesus. At least there's time. But if they wreck like in the front stretch there on the white flag, I get it because those cars are blowing into a million. What you're going way too fast, but a lot of them,
in Michigan,
a lot of them, it's going,
coming out of turn 4.
Like a lot of those, it's like they could stop with, but they could race and get all the way around with ample time, and they stop it, but yet they can't get Ross Chastain for being just taking the access road, and just whoop. I mean, cutting out from 6th all the way up to 2nd and racing, and then let's screw it, go. And I talked just as much trash about Briscoe last year. I'm going, what? He just went.
Well, I even agreed last year with you. I was like, no, that's not allowed.
He just said screw it and cut right to what? I'm not turning. What? Ha!
I remember
he was trying to be like
pass in the grass, and everybody threw a shit fit over that.
He was trying to get us. How do you think he got his sponsorship with Mahindra tractors? Last year, Indy on the road course, Chase Briscoe played the role of the lawnmower. Yeah, I mean, it's true, but yeah, I don't get why it took him so long. Like if you could throw a caution at a minute's notice when there's no reason to, because the guy spins, saves it, and goes around. Literally, like we
Well,
saw
I
in the
mean,
All Star
and
race,
that's no
dude.
different. And what about
Literally,
the races?
dude went
Go
around,
ahead.
what, bounced off the wall, nothing came off the car, no one else was near him, and he threw a caution. But all these people can do stuff like that, and they just let it. It kind of makes it seem like they just want the stupid, like they're just trying to pry for any kind of news is good news for them
Yeah,
now.
because if they're not, they got to explain what the excuse is. Then
I thought they got rid of the alcoholic that was running the company. No offense to the France family, but that guy, that was atrocious.
I'm
I
just
don't know.
saying.
It shouldn't be that,
I
but
can recall races off the top of my head
where
where
way
they were
worse happened. Where
spinning
way worse
and they
happened.
finished the race
Yeah.
spinning across the finish line. They
Yeah.
were called yellow flag before that, checker flag. I've seen it.
You're welcome, Elliott Sadler. What? I just want to finish one of these. No, Newman. What? I just want to finish one on all fours. What? Boyer.
Yeah.
It was Boyer. What?
It was Boyer.
I just want to finish it up. What? And
I like to finish on the tires.
And I have heard Elliott Sadler say to Talladega, "What? I just want to finish one of these on all fours." Guess what? You barrel rolled, and then you landed. And you skid across. Wait, you finished on all fours. Never mind how many pieces your car was in. Never mind how many pieces your car was in across the. How many pieces you left behind. You did finish it on all fours. Congratulations, my friend. You did it.
As long as the roll cage made it through and you made it through, you finished the race.
Hey, think if someone couldn't make
you
it
may
back,
have been dragging metal everywhere,
hey,
but you
think
finished.
about it. That poor bastard in the wreck with you that didn't get to come across the line because he was stuck. What? You beat him. You finished every lap. You just finished the last one in about 400 pieces. I'd take that. Hey,
because you could have not finished the race in 400 pieces.
Just, to quote, Dom, Fast and the Furious, before they started sending, Fieros or whatever it was up in outer space. Like, I don't understand.
What?
Like, in the last Fast and the Furious, when they sent whatever it was.
Well, I haven't watched the newer ones.
Me neither.
They don't count.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you win by an inch, a mile, or a mile. Winning is winning, and while it doesn't matter if you finish on all fours, barrel rolling, or in 1,000 pieces, what finishing at Talladega for some people, that was a feat in and of itself.
Yes.
Like Newman at the 500. I recall many times where he's just pieces flying everywhere.
I mean, look at Mikey Waltrip.
Oh, and
point proven.
And another shout out for that I didn't say to Ty Gibbs. Hey, look at the. I'm just saying for his run there at the track as well with all those young guys, because no matter what, I mean, we had when Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin, and Larson as well, are on a road course and they're wrecking loose and just going around on their own, and you don't in your first time in the car on one of those, but good on you. I mean, what you don't know can't hurt you. So, but he didn't spin out. He didn't have anything stupid. He's going to be in the car again this weekend in Michigan. And like I said on Facebook, when they said
this track will test him,
when they said,
just ask Kyle Larson.
Look at Pocono though. I mean, Pocono tests everybody, and he's 17th, but there were guys that have been racing in this car all season. Like it's just another. It's another type of
track. Is a track
it's another type. Pocono kills people. The road course there kills people. Michigan, like it's just he's getting a good. Again, I don't like people that punch people in the face while they're wearing a helmet. I don't like people that do that. I don't like people that body slam their teammates, like Trevor Bayne, who's literally John Hunter, who like those guys who are literally trying to get their shot back up there because they got sent up to the to the world when they shouldn't have been. They know they shouldn't have been. They got sent back to everything. Trevor lost everything. He did. Everyone can argue all you want. Well, like, where's he been driving? Exactly. Like I don't like him just body slamming people, but again, he's racing these cars. He's being clean. He's respectful. He literally just outraced Larson at Road America. Hey, again, if he does stuff like that, notice we're very nice to him. It's when he's out there driving like an asshole and, let's say, punching
I
someone in the
still think
face while still
somebody
like,
needs to take their helmet and smack his helmet
yeah,
while he's wearing it.
yeah. I think someone just needs to wait till he gets off, like just walk by him on pit road while he's just like Sam Air will bow it or even.
Yep.
Go race now, prick. Yeah, I had a problem with that. But driving, I mean, like he's going into this equipment and he's doing well. He's doing
Be
good.
nice. Wait till after the race before you punch him.
He hasn't done anything stupid, which, I mean, we've seen a lot. I mean, look at Ross. We're talking every week about Ross doing something stupid. Ty isn't out there doing it. What? He's not. At least
somebody needs to have a conversation because I'm serious. His skill is there.
there.
Like, he's a good driver.
He's just
but Ross is.
Yeah, Ross. I think, again, I've said it before. Ross has the. I've been run over for years, and now I'm in equipment where I'm not getting run over. Like he has go yourself syndrome.
I understand that.
I get it to an extent. The way he's. We're finally sitting here bitching at him, going like, "No, really, guys. Like between running people over, you're just going to take the access road and cut." Like, dude.
Well, the access road, that's a 50-50 deal. 50% of that's on him. The other 50% is on NASCAR, in my personal opinion, for not calling that. They should have called him
still
out
did it
immediately. I know they can go, hey, buddy, I know you can hear me. You're done. Get off the track.
They have connections to all cars radios.
I've heard numerous times Rodney Childers say, hey, remember, NASCAR's listening.
You know,
numerous times I've heard it come across the radio.
Yeah, someone's got to fix up. But Ty Gibbs, he's been doing good in these races. I said it again a few weeks ago. Once Kurt was gone, the second week, like, yeah, what? Say goodbye to your what? You won the race. Woo, we're in the play. Like, no, you're not. You are not in the playoffs. What? This race? I mean, thankfully, I think he still had an 85-point lead over 30th, 31st, whatever the hell it was, as of like the end of the race on Sunday. But I mean, this is like what? If someone gets all the stage points that they can, I mean, no one that's running in 30th is going to get all the stage points that they can. So he still does have that giant, buffer, but like he's not back next week. It's over. He's going to lose another 30, 40 points. I mean, it's just.
All
it takes is one freak
no
win.
Offense to Ty Gibbs. He can't keep the points up for Kurt.
Well, it doesn't even matter. I mean, he keeps the owner points. He doesn't get any credit for driver points because.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying I don't think he can get the points needed to keep that particular car in contention.
It sucks. I mean, he was doing good. He's the best driver for 2311. I mean, no one will deny that. But I also have had a lot of head injuries where I got up with but I'm good. And we were on the road that night, and there I was with a very large machine gun. With severe concussion problem, and I was going. So kudos to him for stepping back. And that definitely means he's leaving after next year, like without a shadow of a doubt.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with GT4. If he doesn't do any more GT racing, that'll tell me right there. If he does no more GT racing, I could see him
do a lot of those and just stop doing NASCAR and do that. Schedules less. He can live his life. I mean, he's not the same grumpy old bastard that he used to be. He was a grumpy old bastard before he was old.
And he's got a lot of cars to take care of too. So it's not like he couldn't stay busy.
It just sucks. But him being out, if he's not back next week, his playoff run is dead. But health comes first. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned again, Ty Gibbs filling in, doing good. I don't give him a lot of credit because normally he's doing asshole things. I gave him lots of credit at Road America. Lots of credit. He literally outdueled Kyle Larson. Good for him. He's riding good here. It's just when he's punching people in the face wearing a helmet, and those were beautiful punches, by the way. Like he was throwing bombs in there.
The fact that he was able to throw every one of those and not hit the pillar on either side of that window, I will give him credit on that because I feel like if I started swinging to that extent, I'm big enough that I probably at least one of them would have landed on a pillar.
Hey, he did it on pit road. He was smart enough to do that. Anyway, we've been talking about that. We're half hour in. We haven't even talked about anything happening this weekend. Thankfully, there's a lot of stuff not happening this weekend. And just shout out, you said you saw him race Scott Brody.
Yep.
Brody, Bryant, what? I'm like, leave me alone. My last name's Rosinski. Everyone pronounces it
I know who
wrong.
you're talking. I know what you meant.
Say everyone pronounces it wrong every time, but him passing away, the injury sustained at Brainerd.
Yeah, that's a
Still
shit
got to throw
situation,
another
man.
shout out. And I always say I'd never do it once. I'm not getting up from that. And well, I
Well, I
might
don't
have
think people
laughed when I
understand.
said it. I laughed when I said it, but I meant 100% what I'm not getting up if I wreck on one of those like that. Like that, that's dangerous to everyone that does it,
Well,
let
I mean,
alone you wreck.
when
What
I
your
was in
body
my
is
better
there to
shape
do it.
in life, yeah, when I was in my better shape in life, and I would every once in a while, something happened either at the dune or on a trail ride, and even in as good a shape as I was, every once in a while, some of those wrecks just, well, it hurt to get back up. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
When you go down from a bike and stuff, let me back up. When you crash anything and you hit the wrong way, it sucks.
Oh,
I mean,
and
there's no way around it.
yeah, there's nothing you mean. And there's also a wreck an American flat track up there at Weed Sport where a guy got hurt and everyone was all shaking. Like that stuff is
That was
very,
the one I was. That was one of the ones I was referring to right
yeah,
there. But
that one that sucked. So condolences again. They'll never hear it, but
I seen.
that still did suck to see that someone dies from.
It was 13 or 14. A guy destroyed his collarbone. Like
Yeah,
he never raced again. Never even
yeah,
was able to use that arm right ever again.
like it. That stuff can go bad real fast, which is why I think they deserve more respect from if they're going to be out there literally killing themselves and putting their body that much on the line. The least you can do is, I don't
Well,
know,
and that's something else that bothers me. And
give
I'm
them
not gonna go
recognition over people dribbling
exactly.
a ball.
That's what I was gonna go with. I was gonna say that just in a very simple statement that I feel like there's other sports that get paid 10 to 20 million a year for each player, and it's like their sport really doesn't show this. I'm not saying there's not skills involved with sports because that's not true.
Baseball, basketball, football, hockey, what it all takes crazy
It takes
skills,
skill.
but the amount of money they make, and then telling me how to
Doesn't
live my life,
justify.
then telling me how to live my life. Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense because it doesn't justify. You got guys out here that literally, I would say, in my personal opinion, not all of them, but I would say 85 to 90% of drivers that race in any series anywhere in the country work harder, train harder, and spend more money to race than a lot of other sports
and those guys,
ever spend of their own money.
Some of those purses are only like $5,000.
Yeah. Every once in a while you'll get like the Chili Bowl or something where it'll be 50 to 75, but
which apparently
those are few and far in between.
Which apparently isn't paying all that well this year, which is why Kyle Larson and all of them were like, no, what the purse is offensive. It's not.
It wasn't even 35,
Yeah,
I don't think.
No, but it's not. No, like for how much effort
it should never be less than 45.
Yeah, how much money goes into doing this? How much money you're going to make off of said race? But not coming. Sorry, and I respect that. And
if drivers walk away, they'll lose more.
Yeah. I mean, losing Larson's a big one because people are just going to watch it, just see what Kyle.
There's a lot of guys.
Yeah. Kyle, Christopher Bell, like a lot of guys go down there. Briscoe, there's a lot just NASCAR world guys
heavily involved because he's got guys that
Austin
run
Dillon.
for him there.
I'm saying just Ricky Stenhouse has like just guys that drive in NASCAR that drive in the Chili Bowl or have teams that they own that people are driving for.
Yeah.
Like that's an astronomical amount of like fan base and money.
That's a huge slap in their face is what it is.
Yeah. And before we move on, I do have to throw out Ty Dillon. Please get over yourself. Kyle lost his brakes. And if they said there was nothing mechanical, what? I hate to looking all pissy in his interview. What? Not a snowflake's chance in hell that Kyle Larson hit the brake pedal and it felt normal. So he cranked the car sideways to try to at least get it to slow down. And he took you out. What? How about what? Get over yourself. You suck anyway. You're doing terrible. It was a good run. Well, I'm sorry you were running 25th. I feel terrible for you that Kyle can't. What? No way in hell Kyle ran into you like that. If he could have stopped the car.
I have no comment. I just because what I got to say will get us kicked off.
He tore the side of the car off. He was off. Like Kyle was completely off the ground. Like he He's not putting himself into that situation if he could stop the car. Like
He's not doing that willingly. I'm just gonna
no,
I'm not gonna say
he
another statement on that one because I'll
no,
get nasty quick.
like I do. It's just popped into my head. Like Kyle got out of his car after that and ran down to ask you and make sure that you were okay because he knew he just hit you going mock Jesus because he couldn't stop. Everyone I saw online saying they did it on purpose.
Well, that happened in the ARCA race last weekend too.
Like he did it.
What's his face
Yeah,
in the
he did it on purpose. Like
where
no,
is it? I wrote
like
that down.
no, he didn't do it. What do you think he's going to go into that turn going that fast, turn it sideways, and risk not hitting you? And like, no offense, Ty, no one's going out of their way to wreck you. You're already really good at that, all on your own. No one needs to wreck you and give you a horrible day. You accomplished that 9 out of 10 weeks without us having to do anything.
Yeah, right.
And who was it? In the Xfinity race, I want to say, no, yeah, the Xfinity race maybe when someone went around and caught. Yeah, it was the Xfinity race when whoever it was lost the brakes, went around and caught whoever it was. I don't remember off the top of my head with the back end of their car, and ended up putting them around. I want to say it was the Xfinity race, but like, guess what? These things just happen. Everyone saying it wasn't mechanical. He could, how much they're for how fast they're going and how much they're hitting the brakes there. Like he could have literally, like they said, boiled the damn. Like it could have caused. He could have boiled that brake fluid, caused vapor in the line. He hit the brakes. They said no when everything was mechanically fine. If he was boiling, because you're hitting the brakes.
And anyone that doesn't think that stuff can't boil, I just want people to know 11 to 1300 degrees, brake fluid's boiling.
When you're going that fast and trying to slow down that much repeatedly,
it's nothing to hit 1200 degrees on those brakes.
Repeatedly, without any cautions or anything, that stuff stays hot. And he didn't have his fans on, but I understand why he didn't have. Yeah, it's one of those he should have put them back on after the caution was done. But well, you're kind of preoccupied at that point.
Yeah.
But see, finally got through it all. But get over yourself, Ty. Kyle Larson wanted to hit you. He wasn't going to do it with all 4 tires off the ground to mock Jesus because that was just going to end with him dead. Like if it tore the foam out of the side of your car, what the hell do you think was going to happen? And
I think the only time I ever see him willingly take a tire off the ground is in late model.
He has no choice then.
That's the only time I've ever seen him have a tire off the ground willingly. Because even in his sprint cars, his setup is similar to how I like mine. His front tires stay. Like he doesn't pull up like some cars.
But let's go through all the stuff that we can't see, and then we'll get through this weekend fast because this weekend actually happens really, really fast because everybody's off. Literally.
Well, I don't have all of my stuff because yesterday, this guy right here,
I know,
decided he was gonna get stupid with me. We'll leave that there.
I was just gonna say, idiocy happens. I was just gonna make it nice and.
But I don't have all of my stuff, but
That's
I have.
Do whatever you got.
Majority of it. Okay, where'd that list go? Right there it is. I'm gonna cover the ones that I know you didn't cover Monday and today.
All right, Tuesday.
Or yeah, sorry, Tuesday.
Cluster off until Tuesday, and then
let's not. That was a rough week, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm losing track of days for this pregnancy shit. Okay, there we go. So we had Pinty's raced at, where's my list? Really? There it is. That should be the one. No, great. Anyways, so we had Pinty's racing last weekend at, where was it? Sutherland Automotive Speedway for the Leland Industries Twin 125s. Going on from there, the winner was DJ Kennington. Race 2 was Alex Tagliani. And the next race for them is going to be on August 7th. So that will be Sunday at 2:18 p.m. at the Grand Prix de Troyes. Rivera's. And then moving to the next series, we have our favorites, USAC. Whoop.
Can't believe how much credit they don't get. That's another story.
USAC. Yeah, happens all the time. Won't go there. Racing at, I'm going to cover this one because this was the one I was happiest about. Racing in Indiana at oh, I'm going to pronounce the name wrong. Hold on.
Not all day, Walter.
Hobstadt Speedway. Robert Bellew won. My man won.
Your dude.
Going on after that race, the points, real quick, I just want to cover that kind of because of time. We have Justin Grant in first, Brady Bacon in second, CJ Leary in third, Robert Bellew in fourth, and Emerson Axum took Logan Seavey out. Now Emerson Axum is in fifth place. I just had to get Logan Seavey in there just because he deserves it, in my personal opinion. Carrying on.
Bacon.
My notes on that one are missing because of him. That website's not working. There it goes. Thank you. Thank you for finally working with us. All right. Next weekend, we have where to go right there? The U.S. Nationals for the K-Slate Model Series. And then the 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th, every night, Knoxville Raceway in Knoxville, Iowa, we have the Nationals going on. That's another one that the payout should be kind of decent. There should be some good people showing up for that one. I personally believe the third and fourth night are probably the best nights to watch. The best nights to watch.
But yeah,
the biggest names will be there the third and fourth night.
I bet you the crowd is going to be astronomical compared to the truck race that NASCAR ran there. You'll actually see the place.
It'll if it doesn't sell out, it will be close probably. At least 2 or 3 of the nights. I'm confident in saying
people will show up at racetracks to see races that they want to. I hate to break it to you. Eldora.
We already covered that one. And the only other one I can't get to work is the British Touring Car website. So my notes screwed me.
It happens.
I will cover those our next show. I apologize.
Hey, it ain't no thing. It was arguing with me.
You good?
Anyway, before I have to leave and go deal with Buster again, MotoCross is off until Saturday the 13th for the Unadilla MX in New Berlin, New York. Moto America is off until Friday the 19th through the 21st for Superbikes at Pittsburgh. The NHRA is off from is off until Friday the 12th through the 14th for the Menards NHRA Nationals at Heartland Motorsports Park in Topeka, Kansas. ARCA East is off until August 28th for the Sprecher 150 and the Milwaukee Mile. ARCA West is off until my birthday, August 20th for the Napa Auto Parts ARCA West 150 at Evergreen Speedway. F1 has their summer break and isn't doing anything until Friday the 26th through Sunday the 28th for the Belgian Grand Prix, to include F2 and F3 running the 25th through the 27th. The W Series is off until September 30th through October 2nd for round 6 in Singapore at the Marina Bay Street Course. Formula E is off until the 13th and 14th for their season ender for rounds 15 and 16 in Seoul, South Korea for the Hannah Bank Seoul E Prix. It's their inaugural race there, so I'm kind of excited to see what they have there. And then the Truck Series is off until the 13th for the Worldwide Express 250 for carrier appreciation at Richmond Raceway. For the love of God. Who's off this weekend? Everyone. There we go. Everyone.
Yeah. I'll tell you who's not off this weekend. ARCA.
Well, they're racing in Michigan, so let's get done with IndyCar first.
Okay.
Just end it on a good note for you. You know, the one thing that you people have to be proud of up there, except for weed.
Thanks.
Michigan. IndyCar Sunday, 3 p.m. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix on the streets of Nashville. Top 10 last year, Marcus Ericsson won. Scott Dixon was second. Hinchcliffe was third. Ryan Hunter-Reay was fourth. Graham Rahal fifth. Jones was sixth. Alex Palou seventh. Rosenquist got an eighth. Elio was ninth, which hopefully he gets to because he's just been abysmal the last couple races. Joseph Newgarden was 10th. Rossi was 17th. Jimmy finished 26th. And Colton Herta made damn well went out of his way to make sure that he finished 19th because he took himself out because heaven forbid he could just he's already done it this year now twice.
Yep.
One time he wrecked himself out. This time, then again over the weekend, he just drove mock Jesus over the curbs. And I mean, hate to break it to you,
He wasn't the only one though. There was four guys that
all the Colton Herta fans, but there's not a snowflake's chance in hell that when he was hitting the curbs at Indy, he didn't feel it directly underneath him where the drive like. But I'm looking out for him to win this. Like I think he's out for revenge after he cost himself it last week because he was by far the best car by seconds a lap. Watch out for that guy because he's gonna.
I'm gonna watch Hunter-Reay too.
You could do all that, but no way in hell Colton took himself out after being that much better.
Oh, I'm not saying he's not gonna be frustrated and not contending because well, you and I both know he will.
The only person that's gonna beat him is him. He's already proven that twice.
That's a fair statement.
He's proven it twice this year already, but the only one that could wreck him is him. So
I can agree with that one.
So that's it. I mean, Rossi will be good. Ericsson will be good. Newgarden will be good. Ryan Hunter-Reay, good. I never hold out on Scott Dixon not being up there in the equation any race. He'll be good. But I'm putting my money on Colton because, again, I remember watching it last year going, you stupid. Like, why? Like, you didn't even have to do anything. Like, you were going to catch them and drive away from them because you were that much faster. Like,
yeah,
overly aggressive piece of shit.
I think there's a problem with that across numerous series. It's not just one series or the other. For some reason, drivers these days think that it has to be 100% 24/7. Well, I got news for you. You know who learned that that's not necessarily always the case the hard way? Kyle Larson.
Oh, I was going to say the guy we still haven't done the show about.
Well, no, him too. That guy is for everybody out there. Bubba Stewart is the hardest racing person in the world, but he's also hurt himself the absolute most out of most drivers.
That's why I tell Jet Lawrence every time we did a show, what you don't have to take yourself out.
Oh, there's no
when you're winning by 15 seconds in a Supercross race. What? There is no reason that you need to be falling. I think
when people get like that, they need to watch highlights of James Stewart's career and then go watch races from the 80s and 90s in motocross and tell me if you still need to run 100% all the time. Because guess what? As much as I'd love to say yes to that, you don't.
Yep. So now,
exactly right.
Walter to the ARCA race while I go and see what's wrong with Buster now.
All righty. So moving on, we have the ARCA race today at Michigan. Let's see here if they updated the time. Yep, there we go. Tomorrow is the race at 6:30 p.m. It's the Henry Ford Health 200 at the Michigan International Speedway. Okay, last year's race here, we had Ty Gibbs taking first, Corey Hyman second, Nick Sanchez in third, Sam Mayer in fourth, Kyle Sieg in fifth, Greg Van Elst in sixth, Morgan Baird, excuse me, in seventh, Thad Moffitt in eighth, Jeffrey McZink in ninth, and Brandon Varney in 10th place. They also were the only ones to finish the race.
Terrifying.
Well, I mean, the rest were crashes, mechanical failures. One of them was a fire. It was a rough race here last year.
It's just like when you watch, ARCA races. Though, I mean, what we this past last weekend there at IRP, there was like 9 on the lead lap, if that. Like, gets people rides, but Jesus God Almighty, can we find a way to make that series where everyone's just as competitive as one another? Not just there's 4 people leading, and well, that's it. Well,
I mean, between the 2 wrecks and the 3 mechanical failures, I mean, that was half the field.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was more than that. Take it back. I lied. There was more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them had mechanical failures.
Yeah. There's
And then there were
That's
6 that were taken out of contention to finish on the lead lap because of wrecks. But overall, I think I don't know, man.
Nick Sanchez and Roger Cruz are going to be good.
They're
Daniel Dye is going to be good. Sadly,
Drew
it's like,
Dollar.
yeah,
If he's racing, he's always good.
I wish they would make it more competitive across the board for all. Like they made all this way for cup teams, so they're all in the same car. No one can do anything. Stiffer penalties.
Dollar's not racing.
Yeah. How about you? Well, how about you? You brought him up. How about you bring?
No,
how about the NASCAR put put money in, like make it so they're all the same in like the lower series, so people actually have a fair schwack at it. If that's how you're trying to get your next talent group. How about you make it so they're all getting the same thing, so they all can at least compete, not burst into flames, wreck out, and there's the same
and
5
before I
people
forget,
going for the win every week.
I want to give a shout out to Alex Club. I'm happy to see you racing this weekend. I'm rooting for you. I hope you get somewhere this weekend. I hope you guys pull through for your charter. I'm really hoping for it. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Hey, it's your track, man. You can shout out to whoever you want. I've never been there. I never will be there. Ever.
It's a good track. Don't try to leave right after the race, though, because, well, it's literally in the country. There's 2 roads.
Hey, it's like Pocono.
Don't expect to leave quickly.
It's like Pocono. The guy you want to see win, leave. You're trying to get out of the tunnel in the infield 45 minutes, an hour before the race is done. You're still sitting there.
I usually go buy beers at the end of the race. When I go to the MIS, literally probably with 20 laps to go, I'll run down and grab 4 or 5 beers. And then I'll just sit there and drink while I wait for the traffic to clear out.
Yeah. That's the way it is with it's big track, lots of people.
I mean, I know that sounds wrong, but
not really. At least not to anyone that's ever done it. When you could leave the infield.
I mean, anyone ever has to sit through that, they'll understand LA traffic.
I mean, if you could leave Pocono like 45 minutes to an hour, try to leave the infield before the race is done, and you're still sitting there for 4 or 5 hours after the race is done, you barely move. Yeah, it's pretty much NASCAR, but you're trying to leave. What most of these things, well, let's just say they're in the middle of nowhere and you ain't going anywhere fast. I know ain't a word, but I don't care. The only place you're leaving at a rapid amount of time, let's say maybe the Charlotte Motor Speedway, if you're smart enough to get a hotel room, because you could because there's main roads and you park there and walk. You're literally in distance of in Concord, North Carolina, for the Charlotte Motor Speedway. There's like 15, 20 hotels inside of like a 15-minute walk. So a lot of people just park there and walk so traffic doesn't suck nearly as bad.
Luckily for this area out here in Brooklyn, for some reason, our racetrack has more camping space than I would say most other racetracks. I'm not quite sure why they have so much camping space, but they do. And let me tell you what, every year, somehow they fill all of it. All of it.
Even I'm looking. That's what I've been paying attention to since we started.
Well, anyways, where I was going, sorry.
Well, I was just saying.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's what I've been paying attention to most since we started going back to some of these tracks after COVID. No one could never mind the grandstands. I look to see what they're camping. Because you've seen them enough I look to see what their campsites and their infield looks like. And Pocono is quite healthy. Never mind I'm sorry. Pocono is like Michigan is like the LA Memorial Coliseum. You could have 30,000 people there. It looks like there's 9 people there. Like the grandstands are just enormous.
Exactly.
You could have 30K, which
Michigan
is great.
has a really big.
I'm saying like campground is what I look at, because grandstands. I mean, everyone was booming back in the 90s. Everyone built more grandstands. I get that, but Pocono to fill. I mean, that's what the second longest straightaway. Well, they have the number 2 and number 3 longest straightaways in the sport right there. I mean, And that grandstand fills up 90% of the front straight, but you're not filling that. I don't care who you are.
No.
Don't look at that as, the campsites. See the camping around the racetrack. That lets you know the health of the race and the track and all of that, because it's out of
And
its
that's
boom.
just it. If you watch Phoenix now these last couple of years, hold on, before I go that far, where I was going with the camping, if it wasn't for the fact that a lot of the fans that come to that race camps, it would take 20 hours to clear it out, because there's literally only 2 roads, and both of those roads are 2-lane roads.
Oh, yeah.
1 and 1. That's it.
Oh, I mean, Pocono.
You are not clearing out fast. So if it wasn't for the fact that over half the people camp, they would never be able to clear that out quick.
Yeah. Hey, same thing with Pocono. Teams trying to get out of there because they wrecked early and their day is done, on top of campers and all of us trying to, normal people that went, that got infield tickets and just hung out with, all of that, trying to leave. There's one road in, there's one road out in that tunnel. It's not multi-laned. And there's a tiny 2-lane road right on the outside of that tunnel, which leads to another. Yeah, you can go right. You're driving out. You can go left. But that's not really that big of a road either. You're just kind of
Plus, the
stuck.
nice thing is people who camp, if you're not camping at the actual MIS campgrounds, there's 5 or 6 other campgrounds right there within 2 miles, if that.
Yeah.
Well, if you go to any of those campgrounds, they all have shuttle buses that take you to the racetrack.
And
so
shout out to Pocono, though, when they weren't selling out all their campgrounds. Congratulations for turning one to a giant solar farm, because it was already cleared. Shout out to that, because I know how much they race at Pocono, and they're feeding into the system way more than they're actually using any of that, and they didn't have to clear any ground. They intelligently decided to fill one of those campgrounds that wasn't selling anymore because NASCAR's boom died. And I don't know why they're going out of their way to kill it even worse. That's a whole, we could spend 3 hours talking about that. But shout out to them for actually doing something smart, instead of just, having empty lots everywhere and people going, from the Goodyear blimp camp, what, turn into a solar farm, which feeds into the thing, which helps everyone there in the tiny little town of Long Pond.
exactly.
You're feeding electricity into it all the time. Thank you, Pocono. Never thought I'd say that for my country bumpkin ass place I grew up. That Pocono Raceway, one of the innovators in solar fields for racetracks and sporting venues. Whoever would have thought? I definitely would not have thought, well, I worked there all those years, that they would be that smart. No offense to them. But anyway, before we ramble on any more about that, sad it's only going to be a couple people in contention for the ARCA race, but it should still be a decent race whenever we get to see it.
Brett Holmes is racing. Don't count him out.
I don't even look to see when the ARCA race is on anymore, because I just know my DVR will catch it. And
I already covered that.
That's what I was saying. I like it. I was finishing. It's called closing out the topic.
I see.
As I didn't get to say anything because Buster was out there, whining, even though he was just laying there chilling next to his bowl of food. Nothing wrong with him.
It happens.
Yeah. Cat's all running away from him. But it should be it's kind of the same thing, though. My point was ARCA to Xfinity. There's a lot of people that are going to be in the fray, but Junior Motorsports. Sorry. Ty Gibbs, Junior Motorsports. I mean, they went to Atlanta Motor Speedway and they finally lost an oval stage. Guess what? They didn't lose the race. I think they're up to 17 of the last 19 stages on ovals they've won. I mean, when you've only lost 2 in 1, 2, skip a few, 9 races, sorry. You've won 6, it's got to be 16 of 18. I mean, something it's some ridiculous number.
It's a high number.
And that stretches through 8 races because they don't call you the stage 3 winner. You're the race winner. So there's only, that's a lot of stages. So they're going to be good. Ty Gibbs is going to be good. But last year, AJ got an oval win. Always good to see because everyone still talks trash. I'm sorry, but he could drive on road courses. Nothing wrong with that. They said that about Cindric too. Guess what? he figured out, but then he won one oval race in Kentucky, and the rest is history because he didn't
Yep.
stop winning after that. But Brandon Jones was second, Noah's third, Barry was fourth, Harrison Burton fifth. So shout out to you. Allgaier sixth, Riley Herb seventh. I think he'll be back up there again. He's had a nice string of top tens minus, Rex. They've really turned that program around, which they needed to. Last year was just, I'm sorry, it was inexcusable how they
Yes,
ran
it
last year
was.
across the board for all of them. It wasn't just an Xfinity problem. That was a problem institutionally. Makes it sound like a prison. Well, you're driving for Tony Stewart, might as well be a prison. Look at the inmates. Look at the inmates they had running the asylum. I mean, might as well be. But Brett Moffitt was eighth. Jade Buford got a ninth, so good for him. He's normally, people normally only hear his name when he's on road courses. So good to see him up there at the 200-mile-an-hour just go track, getting the top 10. Bubba got a 10th. Again, I think he's going to be good. Ty Gibbs was 13th. I think he's got to be way better than that. Jeffrey Earnhardt, 23rd. I think if he got a real shot, he could be really, really something. If he got an actual shot more than once once in a blue moon. Landon Castle is 26th. He's going to be better. Jeb Burton. I just like Jeb, 29th. Sam Mayer's 33rd. Daniel Hemrick, 39th. He's going to be way better than that. And Brandon Brown got a not normal 40th, but again, things happen, with all of them that got them back there. I just know that Castle, with the equipment he's in, Hemrick, like, unless something stupid happens, those guys are going to be right there around top 12, no matter what.
Yeah.
And Sammy Smith's in the 18 again, so good to see that because he ran good. I like him. I like the kid. See him when he's in the Arctic cars and all that. I mean, he has talent. I think he needs to hone it a little bit more. But I hate to do it, but TRD. I mean, they do get young guys, and sadly, Kyle Busch is the reason for. I mean, how did they find Eric Jones and Christopher Bell and
Honestly,
just like Brad Keselowski racing in the Truck Series. Look at all the talent that he had and found, and where they are, like where those drivers are now. Like I think Kyle and Brad are really, and Junior across the board. Like those three,
I think
are
those
the
three
ones saving the sport.
deserve
They're the ones saving the sport.
some due diligence, some common courtesy. Like
they're the ones
bring it to
saving
them.
it. They're the ones saving the sport by finding.
Oh, speaking of Kyle Busch, shout out. Sorry about your experience yesterday at the Mall of America. That shit sucks. I apologize that people suck.
I didn't even hear about it until you told me.
I know. I feel bad, man. I've seen it. I've been there, done that, experienced it. That shit sucks, man. I mean, it sucks for everybody involved with that. And I just want to say,
see, we even say nice things about Kyle.
I really hope it does not affect his children. I mean that as a human. I really hope it doesn't affect his kids.
And I say it across the board. Never mind what I feel about the human being. Kids didn't do nothing. And that's pretty much in all situations.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for anyone involved. I really hope.
I hope all children and people involved, carry on and, I mean, as good as they can in those things. I mean, I don't think he's. I think
the chicken shit that did it.
Yeah.
Wow. I have a special place in my heart for you.
See, I didn't even hear about it. Again, I was in a whole new world last night, and I don't mean Aladdin.
I just wanted to let everybody know. Shout out to them, and I hope everything's good and golden. And I'm sure it'll show this weekend if it's not.
Well, thankfully for him, he's a race car driver, so put that helmet on.
I know, but I'm talking about for his family.
I know. Well, I'll say for him, like I said, thankfully for him, he puts the helmet on. It's gonna be the last thing on his mind. His kids, his what Samantha and all that. What Samantha's?
No kid deserves to go through
that. His wife and kids, like they don't have that. I mean, they don't have that. Sorry, to be a championship race car driver, you literally helmet goes on. You don't. Everything else is, no matter what you're going through, everything else goes away. It's like same thing as, let's say professional wrestlers. Like if you listen to Stone Cold, neck was bad, knees were bad, going through a divorce, red light turned on. And you see them walk out there, no limp, no anything. And for that 20 minutes or so, just like a race car driver, that's when they are in control of everything and they turn everything else off. which is
Like
why
me
I'm
and
more worried.
working.
Yeah, which is why I'm more worried about, again, everyone else that's normal, that was just living their day, that was there, and that happened. Like they don't have, like most people don't have that, like what light turns on, go. Like right now, no one would probably believe that I'm extraordinarily hungover. No one could probably tell that my head feels like
It
it's going to
happens.
explode. What light turns on? What I don't care, hell or high water. I'm doing what I have to do. Race car drivers, same way. Professional wrestlers, same way. Why? Because they know if they don't, what they're doing can really, 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 if they're not 100% focused, end up terribly for them. So he has that. I hope Brexton and whatever I don't. Sorry, I don't pay attention. Samantha and the other one. No offense to his other one.
I can't remember.
His other one's just,
The
hey,
only reason I
guess
know
what?
of Braxton is because they raced
Yeah.
with
Guess what?
he raced all the time with Kevin's kid.
I know Keelan. Couldn't tell you Keelan's sister's name. Don't know. I know what she looked, but couldn't tell you. Just the way it is. I noticed the
I can tell you
racers in
his
them.
name, his mother's name, and his dad's name.
Well,
I can't tell you his sister's name.
But hopefully they all, work through whatever they have to work through. But we all know Kyle will get through it. Just put the helmet on, and whatever he's dealing with outside of that, as a father, as a husband, I just know that he'll be able to turn it off in time. The helmet goes on, their brains 100% go to that, because, well, if they don't, it could end very terribly for them and other people. So it still sucks. And that's why I hate people. I'm just going to say armed good guys.
Can save a day.
There is more of them.
Yeah.
I'm just going to, I didn't, so I don't piss off any of the audience. All I can say, it's amazing how many of these things stop because of,
don't poke the bear.
Don't be stupid.
Period.
I'm going to go through the old Super Bowl commercial with the Tuttles when they still got along during their American Chopper run at the beginning. What? Don't be stupid.
Right.
There you go. Paul Sr. summed it up in that commercial. Don't be stupid. And too many people are nowadays, but again, getting into the Cup race, I think Kyle will be. I think he'll be fine once helmet gets on, ready. Once he gets on, and no one can deny it. Race car drivers look at everything happening with Kyle back in 2020. That he was doing interviews, trying to save face and do damage control and fix everything that he did. But you put, like, all the time, you put that helmet on, you couldn't tell there was anything. But you couldn't tell there was all, like, everything collapsed on him. Why you put that helmet on? Ready, steady, see you later, bye, go. Like, you could never tell, and they just have that ability. They're just, it's what they have to do for their safety and everyone else. But I think he'll still be in contention. He got 7th last year, did Kyle, in the Cup Series race there. I think he'll still be right up there. I say top 10. I'm not putting him up there for winning. No offense to him. I just think their teams, like Gibbs, they've looked good, but they haven't looked like themselves, really, this whole time, especially the road course program, which is a whole nother story. That absolutely sucked. But let me know when you see, like, ghosts going down the slide behind you. Every time you move, that's all I can see. But Blaney won last year. Again, I think he's going to be good. I think their cars have been, for Penske, minus Harrison, which is why I pick on Harrison all the time that I do, because it's literally the same car, same everything. But I think Blaney and Joey will be okay. Cindric, I think he's still going to be around, top 12-ish for the race, all depending. But William Byron was 2nd, Kyle Larson 3rd. I don't think that's going to change. Sorry. Junior Motorsports.
That's a safe bet.
Hendrick, but they're pretty much one and the same. A lot of the same moving parts. And I think them adding Jeff Gordon to the fold made them even better. It's Jeff Gordon.
Well,
How do you feel about him? That's a talented son of a bitch right there. And William Byron running all kinds of races here, there, and everywhere, running all kinds of stuff, I think has done an immense help to his career, running late models and all that.
Most definitely.
You could see his stats are, he's just Why? Because you got it. Like he's learning how to like notice how much he's not going around as I mean, he has all on his own, but compared to a lot of the older guys who are, just run NASCAR and don't do anything else. But he's got those quick that you have to react quick in the dirt and late models and all that. And he has his hands are on point. It's kind of like when Kyle Larson goes around, we're all going, well, it's going to be a long weekend.
Yeah.
Why? Because that man knows how to. Well, he's got the reaction time in the hands, and that shouldn't happen. But good run for them. Kurt Busch, damn shame. I think Ty will get another top 20 though. I don't think he's finished outside. I think what worst was 19th or something. So I mean, I think he's going to get another solid top 20. Very well, possibly could be the best of the 2311 cars. Prove me wrong, Bubba. I've been giving
I'm
you
kind of
credit.
hoping this. I'm hoping this race is a turnaround weekend for you know who. I'm really hoping for it.
Yeah.
Come on, Kev, pull through.
Hey, he didn't need a turnaround if it wasn't for wasn't for the guy that finished fifth last year. Don't worry.
We won't talk about that.
He has my notes, everybody, so he knows exactly who I'm talking about because I send him my notes, which is why his notes when he's talking about all this stuff are phenomenal, and his own notes suck because kind of like Buster at life right now, sucks. He's just mad because he knows I have to. He's just mad because I have to go give him a bath like immediately following this because he's disgusting. But Denny got a fifth. I don't know about Denny. Like I'm going car by car on this one. They just haven't seemed themselves this year.
No. I can tell you right now, the Woods brother car will not be there this year.
Matty D though, sixth. Woo. Let's get some Jersey Shore fist pumps going on that one. What?
Right. Yeah, that's something that won't be touched.
With a middle name like Guido, what? You deserve the Jersey Shore fist pump on that one. Matthew Guido de Benedetto. What it ain't a nickname, boys and girls. What then is no shit his middle name. Guido. My man. Yeah, they're not getting the top there. Nope, that's not happening. That they could wreck they could wreck 40 cars and he's still not beating that. Yeah, and I say 40 cars, there's no one else on the track. They still make I'm sorry.
The ones to watch, I'm gonna be honest. The ones to watch is gonna be Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch. I'm not gonna say Denny Hamlin, maybe William Byron.
Yeah, I'd put money on Willie B.
I definitely say look out for
Chase Elliott will be on the
Martin
list.
Truex and Chase Briscoe.
Chase
definitely
Elliott.
watch them three.
Chase is on.
Chase Elliott's always done good here.
Yeah, Chase is on the list. I'm not looking for Brad to win per se.
He'll be up there.
But they've finally seemed to,
not just that he knows that track.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. Look at all the tracks that he knew like the back of his hand. And he finished in the 30s because he just sucked. Look at him. You say that. Look at him at Bristol or Martinsville. He was dog shit. I just think they finally made the curve because they're actually like it's not just a road course thing now. Like then they turned around and went on an oval and finished good. Like I think they're finally, they're around a top 15 now, which is miles ahead of where they were. Let's say, hell,
I mean, like I said,
a month and a half ago, they were miles.
He will not win the race.
Oh, they were miles behind even Busher. Who shout out to Busher because he's been the car for the whole entire year.
Well, not only that, he came in 15th in his car last year. So
I think
his car this year is by far better than what he was driving last year.
Yeah, because I think, and again, I'm not like I wasn't happy that Brad took over. I wasn't happy that Kurt took over the two. And look how nice I am about him now. What I was a Rusty Wallace fan. I'll always be. But the Blue Deuce has a special place in my heart. And no offense to Kurt Busch or Brad Keselowski's face, they will not have a special place in my heart. I didn't like them for that, but they, again, new team, ownership role, new car completely, and a team that really was down in the dumps. No offense to Roush. I love Jack Roush. I miss the days where they had, you got to think back, Mark Martin, Jeff Burton. When he was gone, Carl Edwards, Biffle, Kenseth, Chad Little. They had 5 cars at one point and they were out there winning every week. And now they can't figure out. Yeah. It was a shame to see them down to 2 cars and they couldn't even compete for top 20s.
I do know, I don't remember what year it was, but a few years back, I'm pretty sure it was Roush that went through a heavy employee change.
Oh yeah. They went through all kinds of stuff.
A massive.
It still sucks to see them, it still sucks to see them down in the dumps. I am happy to see now Brad's competitive too. No comment on how they treated Trevor on his way out the door when he split the season with Kenseth. Like,
Yeah.
but Trevor, were you running competitive at all before that? You weren't, and that's not on his driving ability. That was on the team, was just in the drizzling shits. And I'm happy to see them make their turnaround though. And I'm really like, never mind everything else. I think Bubba will run better. Just because I give him credit where he can run. This should be a track where he should do good. Should be. Doesn't mean he's going to.
Should be.
I think he'll do better. I want to see what Austin Hill does making his debut in the 33, because no way Richard Childress Racing put out like a week in advance telling us what 8/2/22, their big announcement to have him drive. But no way in hell they're not doing that for they're doing that for a reason.
Somebody else we haven't said anything about him, but I feel if we don't, we're wrong.
I'm always wrong.
Somebody else to watch this weekend would be Corey LaJoie.
I was born male. I'm always wrong. Yeah, I think
last year,
I think he'll be a
Josh
solid.
Berry finished in that same car. Well, not the exact same car, but in that number, he finished 26th.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a solid.
And Corey's been decent this year in 18, that car.
Yeah,
so...
except for when they've had stupid. I'm going to put Corey LaJoie and that beautiful head of hair. That mane of his.
He's somebody to watch.
I think he's going to be around. I mean, when we say, at least when I say it, I'm pretty sure I could speak for the two of us, because he's been angry in the Marine Corps and spoke for the both of us. No matter how I felt, he spoke. It was officially for both of us. And then I got the chewing afterwards. I don't think he's going to be up there for the win, but he's been getting, like, when he hasn't wrecked out, I've been actually really like proud of that team just because of where they were and where they are to be getting be consistently in the top 20. Like, he's getting around. He's been around minus stupid. Yeah, he's been around 18th, 19th. That's And
there's been a few races this year where he's
doing way
really
better.
Well, something dumb happened.
Yeah, which again, I've been on here without Walter on Mondays.
Well, the only reason I said that is because
saying the same thing about Bubba and them, when like they had a good thing going, and Bubba has had a lot of good cars where stupid happened this year. I just want to make sure he's just had it, like Corey's just had it happen so much more, and he's in lesser, like he is, no matter what anyone says, the money going into 2311 and the money going into Spire, like what he's pulling off in top 20s, they need to be commended just for money wise, technology wise. Like,
basically, I guess that's where I was going with it. Yeah. I mean, I just feel like last year, that just goes to show you, one, what the quality of the team was last year, because Josh Berry is no slouch as a driver. We got to get that right on a baseline now. Josh Berry is not a slouch when it comes to driving.
You ever driven in this car? Nope. You ever driven here? Nope. First time I saw it was about 20 minutes ago. Okay. No, you weren't. What happened when he won?
I went to Martinsville. Person I know to do something like that is Kyle Larson.
Martinsville. What? Never been there. What? Anything that big with that much power? Never been in that kind of car. What did he do? He went out and he won. Like, yeah. When's the first time he drove at a track like that? Yesterday.
Well, the reason I said that is because he finished 26. So that just goes to show you the quality of car he was in last year. And then this year, Corey LaJoie and that team has turned their shit around. And I mean, he's ran decent in almost every single race.
Yeah, I think the new car has been a big,
I think the new car has made it harder for teams like Gibbs and the bigger teams to walk away with everything.
And as much as people are complaining, I mean, hey.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to change my opinion on the fucking.
They're penalizing.
The single lug nut bullshit.
They're penalizing everyone, like, for any part that you touch, they're penalizing everyone exactly the same. When it comes to the tire thing, I do understand, because I saw you don't have social media because you're smart. One of us has to share all this shit. I saw people losing their minds over Christopher Bell and them not losing the people for 4 weeks when he lost the tire. It's like, but I fully understand that one, because he was still in his pit stall. Like, he drove like 3 feet. It fell off. It wasn't on the racetrack at speed with cars going.
Yeah, I don't think the driver's door made it past the edge of the pit box.
Yeah, like he got out this far. Like he did get, but he wasn't anywhere near out. So it was going like, literal him trying to take off. It didn't hit the track. It didn't hinder anything. I fully understand why that wasn't a 4-week.
A big deal.
Yeah, I get like for people freaking out what it's not a Gibbs thing. Because if it was a Gibbs thing and I'm trying to help them, tell that one to Denny.
Right.
First one in 62 years. Please explain to Denny how Gibbs can get away with murder. Why? Because I'm pretty sure Denny might punch you in the face, and I'd actually be okay with it this time. Just like people going after Chase Elliott. But I think Corey deserves more credit than he'll ever get. He's kind of like Bowman back in the day before Junior picked him out to be his replacement. Like, and he showed up and like for the Daytona 500, and there's everyone like.
You should see him in Caruth on the side of the track.
Or
goodness.
when he was filling in for Junior, like, how's it like you run? Yeah, what's your rookie season like the year? Like, how's your rookie season going? Like guys do realize I ran like 7 years in the Cup Series before this, right? And garbage, maybe even in the 7, I believe, at some point that Corey LaJoie is in now. Like you guys do realize that. Like, how's your rookie? How do you feel going into your rookie season?
I'm pretty sure it was him.
And there he's go. Like, I've already ran in like 6 Daytona 500s. Like, thanks for noticing me. But I've only run 300 races. I'm glad that you guys didn't pick up on any of them. Right. Thanks. I think Corey LaJoie is in one of those. I think the new car is helping them, but I think he deserves better. I think he's into the Bowman. He's in that phase, or Ross when he was driving in garbage for all those years. Like, he's one of those. He's just doing more with it. Kind of like Jeffrey Earnhardt. When he gets the chance, like, he's dangerous. And I don't see him leaving Spire, but I don't want him to leave the 7 car. Like, that is Corey's car. Like, as far as I'm concerned, that's Corey's baby, and it should be treated as such. I know we're just blabbering on today, but Corey LaJoie deserves what he drives his ass off for years and years and years, driving dog shit. And for him to be taking that dog shit and turning it into as many top 20s as he's had, or almost winning that one race, where he went from, about to possibly get his first career win to totaled, but
crunch.
That happens that's happened to everybody. He has gone out there when he's had to, and he's running top 20, minus stupid stuff. The improvement in that team.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing.
I know. I'm speaking for both of us here. Corey LaJoie, he deserves better than he's ever going to get. His dad was phenomenal too. I mean, like, if I'm like his dad, Randy, back when it was still the Busch series, or the Busch Grand National Series before they went that up. Heaven forbid.
That was a mess when they changed all that around.
He was great back. Like, he has it just, and he's such a good ambassador. I know you're not on the socials, but dear God, the amount of work that Corey LaJoie puts in for all of those sponsors. Like, hopefully now the team keeps getting better. He's like Buescher. Second he came up, wanted nothing but good for him. Bowman, I was like, cool. He gets a shot in a good car. Wanted to see what he was going to do. Chastain, put the genie back in the bottle a little bit. And in your post-race interviews, don't go, you think you should have came out in second? I mean, no, I knew I wasn't going to make the turn, so I took the excess road. Like, so what about race relief? Well, I knew I wasn't going to make the turn, so I took the excess road. Hey, Ross, take the look off your face. You come off as a pretentious.
Yeah.
Big old C. He's a pretentious capital C. But even Hannah's dad, who doesn't watch, like, they're always busy. Like, he's at work, she's at work. He never gets to watch racing. Even after the rain delay at whatever the hell that was a few weeks ago, with the lightning striking and the race went on until like 3 o'clock in the morning. It really wasn't. But when he was sitting there going, and he's sitting there, how Kentucky, Kansas, whatever the hell. He's like, what? Yeah. How about that interview with Chastain? Like, what the were you doing watching the race? Like, but didn't he come off as a dick? Why? Because he looked at Parker Kligerman and went, I wish I was talking to driver Parker Kligerman and not analyst Parker Kligerman right now. That's how that makes me feel. You're going, God, you're such a dick. Like, you made it. You don't have to look at Parker and go, oh, that makes me wish I was talking to driver Parker or not analyst. Like what, you just come across like such a dick.
Yeah. That, where I come from, is called arrogancy.
Like, you made it. I get the chip on your shoulder. That right there, like, I'm sorry, you've gone straight past chip on your shoulder to pretentious. See you next Tuesday.
Yep.
There you go, acronyms. Brought to you in part by the United States Marine Corps.
Exactly.
But yeah, like he's come across like I want him to do good, but I really am starting to get to the point, like we've defended him. I'm almost to the point where I want Suarez and everyone else to outdo him except for Denny, because sorry, Denny. He got into you. He didn't wreck anyone else that day. Second time around, sure, taking him out in the exit of the turn. So he came down in front of the whole entire field and took out Kevin. That wasn't a cool move.
I would pray that Kevin gets into the playoffs.
If I was Denny,
I would definitely hope that Kevin gets into the playoffs. You better hope he wins Michigan today. You might want to help him win Michigan today.
If I was Denny, and if I made the championship 4, wreck him on lap 1. You better wreck Kevin the first chance you get, because if you make it all the way to the championship 4 and he doesn't make the playoffs by, let's say, I don't know, 32 points that you cost him at Pocono, don't let him get near you. What? Hey, what did you say? What? Sooner or later, what? Everyone says, what? I'll get him when it matters. But racers don't forget. What? I'd be sitting there just, looking. Sorry. I'm not sorry, not sorry. What?
Gearbox went all crazy. These new gearboxes are just touchy. I can't.
I don't know what. Suddenly my steering wheel just popped. Oh, what? Turn it at him and popped it. What? I don't know what happened. What? The brakes failed. Like, brakes are still good, guy. Tire went down. Tires are all up. I sneezed. I don't know. I saw the gleam off of his, the purple. It blinded me. Tried to wipe the sweat from my brow, and I got sweat in my eye under my glasses, and it's come up with some excuse, because if Denny
if Kevin
doesn't make
Kevin
will be a dick. Kevin will be like, what? Kenny will be a dick. Oh, what? Yeah, I got him. What? Like what? Told you, drivers don't ever forget. See you in February. Like,
yep.
That's how it looked. Or what? What happened? Told you so. And just walk away. Everyone's just going.
I still find it funny they want to interview him last week.
All those Pocono everywhere. Like what? Hey, what? Nope. Like what? We're not even playing that game.
Not even going to attempt it.
I can just imagine what his radio sounded like if you were even able to listen with Baby and all the other stuff you're doing. But that was one of those times like, what? That wouldn't be worth $10 a month, but that'd be worth $10
today.
At this exact, but what, about 30 seconds ago? What? That'd be good. Just for I'd give you $10 for 5 minutes until he got into pit road and unplugged everything, like in the garage. Like that would have been worth $10. Like, I could just imagine the words coming out of his mouth. And there'd be Rodney going, yeah, man, just pulled into what? We're good.
There's usually a 7-minute period after the race where Rodney doesn't turn anything off.
There's, that still, there'd be Rodney going, yeah, just pulled in, but we're done. Yeah, I'll see you at the hauler. He'd be that calm. Kevin would be losing his mind. I'd be sitting there, just get your popcorn ready. What? This is about to get good. I hope
this is going to be an awesome deal.
I hope that him and Kevin are. In fact, I hope Kevin doesn't make the playoffs at all, because that'll make the last 10 races
more interesting than ever.
Really interesting. Well, you thought him and Ross had a problem. He has a much larger problem.
Well, did you see what happened? I would just look at
and it's not, and it's a guy that's
last year,
and it's a guy that doesn't get to wear one of these hats this year because you're a dick. There's no other way around it.
Look what happened last year when Chase wasn't necessarily as dumb as Denny.
No, I mean,
I'm going to put it that way.
Doesn't take much to not be as dumb as Denny. I mean,
and Kevin was ready to throw a helmet at his head.
Denny
went out of his way to take out another car, which in return completely crunched the front end of Kevin's car.
Ruined a fourth place
run. That, my friend, is beyond. That is beyond throwing a helmet.
Hey, I just felt bad for the roof of his car. When he's gonna kill him, like at least you got to
Well,
give.
you
Hey,
noticed when he did that, it didn't pop back out.
and by the way, Ty Gibbs, he went down there and got in Chase's face and walked away without throwing any punches, and then took his helmet off and slammed it. He didn't go down there and punch the kid in the mouth with his helmet on. He went down there, he chewed you. You know he had like. Why is the camera so far away? All right, because there's a boom. There's a microphone attached to the top of it. What? That's why the camera. That's why they zoomed in. Why? Thankfully, he had a helmet on too, so his words were less decipherable. They were slightly muffled, but
Kind of one of those situations like last year with Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott. The Jackman was furious. Not gonna lie, I probably wouldn't have got out of the car either. That's a big dude. And he was not happy.
hey,
But
you got to give Alan credit though, with after
Kyle
after
owes
the
him a
I'm saying
huge
after
thank you.
Kyle and after the Kyle and the Chase incident at Darlington back in 2020. I mean, like, what Alan, what, bro, what? There's Alan on pit road. What?
Yep.
Don't do it.
Just
Don't.
go back down there.
Please.
He did end up walking away though. I mean,
and because of that, I mean, like, it didn't escalate into anything stupid, and they actually talked it out. And again, I was talking. I think I was even watching the race with you because I had nothing else to do with my life, and I was a cripple.
Alan goes, "That was bullshit."
Yep. But that race at Darlington, though, I mean, no matter what anyone tries to tell me, and I know we're just rambling on now, but hey, we're talking playoff time. Well, we gotta talk about idiots. I will never say that I believe that Kyle tried to turn Chase at Darlington in 2020 in that race to end it that way for Denny to win. I've seen Kyle fit his car in places.
No, but I think that's
he
why
should
Alan...
not. Yeah, that's why. And he handled it appropriately, so it didn't turn into something stupid. And everyone, and they raced the next day. Like, they were right there racing. Like, that's when they were racing 2 or 3 times a week, trying to make up for lost time. And it didn't blow up into anything stupid. Why? Because Alan got in the way to stop some stupid from happening. Everyone turned into adults. Alan used to.
Everybody said what
everyone used, and Alan used to work with Kyle Busch. I mean, when he was over, like, they all.
That's where I was going to go with it. Kyle and him used to be.
Yeah. When they were
together.
Still. Yeah. So they understand each other.
It was one of those things where, like, if that would have been a different situation with probably most other crew chiefs, Kyle would have been screwed. I'm going to be honest. Kyle would have been screwed if that had been most other crew
I give
chiefs.
Kyle Busch credit for one thing, though.
He knew what was coming.
Oh, no. Dude's got a set of balls.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, in that particular race, like we were talking about,
no matter
Kyle
what,
even said,
no matter what, Kyle, he might be an asshole, that Kyle Busch, but goddamn, does he have a set of huevos? He walked down to, like, Joey. I mean, Alan saved what happened to, like, Joey. Like, he saved that from another one, even though Kyle walked away from the fight with Joey bleeding because he walked down there, swung, and 9 of, all 100,000 of Joey's team, like, jumped on, because heaven forbid Joey could just get punched in the face. I think he'd drive like less of a dick if they actually let him get his ass beat, but that's another story. But for anyone that watches the NASCAR commercial and, when Kyle's making that ridiculous face and his forehead's bleeding, that's what happened after we watched him get out of his car. We're going, he's going to hit him. He's going to hit him. And then Joey's like, what's up there? Like, you saw what? I was watching TV going, I know that look. I'm like, what? I know what he's about to do. What's he about to do? He's not even going to say a word. He's just going to walk up and swing. Like, how do you know? How do you know what? I've had that look in my eye before. What never ends with words. It ends with words while you're swinging. Why are you stupid?
Or just no words and swinging.
Yeah, swinging and sooner or later words. But and there's Joey. Like, you're dumb. But anyway, Alan saved that one. I think that's the Kyle I'd rather talk about. Is that than yesterday, Kyle, and all of that.
That's where I was going with that. At least he owned it, though. When he owns every single time. Road, his crew chief even said, no matter what happened on that track, just so you know what's getting ready to happen when you park that car, do not get out.
Hey,
you get out, you're not walking away. He was told that on his radio, you get out, you're not walking away. Because they knew who was down at the end of that wall. And it was like, oh man, they already is planning for that to get ugly.
And that was just, you know, to close.
And that's one of those things where I appreciate the relationship between Kyle Busch and Alan
and no one gives him credit for that. Like Kyle does, like.
Well, he said, even if I don't deserve it, I'm getting ready to get he even said, I'm getting ready to get my ass kicked.
And he said it in the thing after, in his interview, when he was interviewed after, he said, I deserve that one. But if it happens, I deserve it. What, didn't mean to do it. And everyone's, you know, biting his head off on the socials again, still like, but Kyle Busch was going to try to cut in there and get what you guys do watch him race, right? And Kyle fits his car in places it should not. He's not gonna. He might be a dick, but how many times is he intentionally?
Well, at least he's like he said, between him and Chase, he says I could see where Chase would be pissed, and that's on me. He says, "No, I didn't do it intentionally."
He owns his stupid when he is stupid.
So that's for Travis. Say I don't ever say anything positive about Kyle Busch. Just offended him twice in this stinking show. Sheesh. Anyways, carry on.
Oh, that was it. Going into we'll have a whole playoff special, but I mean, sorry, she moved everything. Like, I don't know how you take a test and need to empty out the whole desk. But again, full circle, I hope Kevin doesn't make the playoffs.
Oh, worst thing that could happen for Denny. I promise on that one.
He has 10 weeks. It doesn't matter.
If one person makes it just on points and it's not Kevin, Denny's in trouble.
Like points wise, he's good. So when people that have races like get knocked out, he can beat them. He's going to beat them in the points. Like he's going to move up from, you know, wherever it's 17th, 18th, wherever the hell it falls when the playoffs start. But I put safe money to say Denny Hamlin is
not going to like the outcome at the end of the season.
Regardless, if Kevin makes it or not, Denny Hamlin will not be the champion. In fact, we're going to go from talking about Ross and Denny all year to Ross who? When?
Going to go, man, he shouldn't have made Kevin mad last year or this year.
Especially at Phoenix. Of all places to piss him off, you took Atlanta from him. You might have moved the start-finish line, but Phoenix is still shaped like Phoenix.
And that is Kevin's track.
I just want to see him. I don't know.
I'm serious. If Kevin does not make the playoffs, Denny's in serious trouble.
I like Denny. I really did at the beginning of his career. I just think he's turned into a pretentious.
He used to be good for the sport.
Canoe. Like he's just all like it's just me. Well, guess what? People, don't worry, everyone. I said I'd do it last weekend. I'll give you the why I don't like Denny. I'll give you it this weekend. I actually have reasons why I don't like Denny. Why he's proven time and time again, no matter if you like him or not, especially you people that like him and you just see past it all, where he's a dick.
Well, I mean,
unequivocally,
he's
an asshole.
So bad, it's ruined him on his off-track ability to be a good vehicle and carrier for the sport of hey, this message needs to happen. Like he used to be good for the sport, but
for all the stuff he has done, and he complains about Ross and throwing his hissy fits. Let's see. Danica. Or hold on, what was that guy that could have made the last race? He could have made the championship 4, but I think 3 straight years Denny took him out of Martinsville. Didn't bump him just straight up wrecked him. Oh, Chase Elliott. Well, like you have physically done way worse to people than
he's done it to Martin Truex too.
Yeah, than getting taken out at a random race at Gateway. Whatever worldwide technology, whatever the hell they're calling it anymore. Like that was one time. Like you've taken people out of championship contention by just straight dumping them into the wall. Like you reap what you sow, and that's why you're not going to be a champion ever. Because there's so many people you've pissed on, no one's going to let you.
Fair statement.
No one.
I agree.
Not a snowflake's chance in hell. Anyone is going to let him win the championship because he has pissed off way too many people. Hell, I'm pretty sure all of his teammates would more than happily take him out because he's just a dick.
Well,
Kyle Busch is an asshole, and I get why. Why? Kyle hates losing more than he likes winning. And then they stick.
Even Eric Jones said
and they stick a camera in his face. Like, I get what everyone gives Kyle and all. What, you're such a dick. What? Believe it or not, when you should be out there in equipment winning every race, and the best you could do is fourth, no matter what the hell you do. What, you're like, guess what? Running fourth when you're at that level, what finishing second physically hurts them more than being in victory lane ever feels good. He's one of those people. He's like Tom Brady. And you see him walking up and down the sideline screaming, yelling fuck, and you could just clearly read what he doesn't like losing. Super Bowls, yay, losing.
Well, if you want to use football, great example.
Football field.
Peyton Manning standing on the sideline going,
losing. Losing feels way worse than all those Super Bowls ever did to them.
All you see is just
because they know
red head and then these little spots from the helmet.
Because they know where they are. They know what they should be doing. I mean, how many times did Kyle win a championship because he was just out there taking people out week in and week out and then crying about it? He owned his stuff and he outraced people.
Yeah.
Crying about it. What? Don't worry. What? He was kind of like Tony Stewart. What? I'm gonna beat his ass. Okay. What? Thanks, Kyle. What? Thank you. What? I could see that interview. Always complaining about people blocking him. Why are you blocking me down to the grass? What happened? You go, I'm gonna beat his ass. Like,
I can tell you right now,
thanks,
that
Smoke.
interview with some of these guys
would
never go this way as went. Exactly. That's where I was going with that. If Burnsy was around, some of these things wouldn't happen the way they happened.
He would have been
that was a good guy.
He would have been chanting.
We should end it on that note right there with the podcast going, saying Burnsy was good.
I'd say he would end that. He would have been cheering right along with those fans in Alabama last year. It wouldn't have turned into, let's go, Brandon. What? No, what? No, lady. What? Yeah, no. Like, they aren't saying anything. But that has nothing to do with Brandon Brown winning. But that's where we'll leave it. What? Burnsy. And at least you didn't name your kid Myatt.
True.
Very true. I understand that, but I will this weekend. I'll do it. She'll be busy doing it. I'll come in here and I'll tell everyone why I hate Denny Hamlin, and there will be pictures. So make sure, watch the video. I will give you a timeline of why he is just the most pretentious piece of shit on the planet.
Fair enough.
He's changed for the worse, but he's going to go deal with his pregnant wife and terrorists upstairs and his slide that we keep seeing on a security camera behind him. Beautiful slide. Yeah. Love it. It's nice. I'll be back one of these days. So like it, share it, subscribe, really mainly, especially on
your local racetrack.
Yeah. And especially on Rumble, because YouTube threw the other one off for a week or two. So get on the Rumble and all that one. YouTube. And I'll be back this weekend sometime. So appreciate your local racetrack. Everyone's running. If I'm stuff every week for Goodyear, whatever bought it out, Great American, whatever, here in Jacksonville, everyone has them. So get out there, support them. Glad to see Newman winning at North Wilkes-Barre now that it's back. That's nothing better could ever happen than seeing North Wilkes-Barre back and Newman holding a trophy. And I'll be back probably tomorrow. So enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. I'll be back on Monday or Tuesday for the big show on everything, depending on how it all goes. And until next time, peace.
Peace.